And welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. Today I am joined by senior outfielder Brooke Echols. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
First, let's start off by talking about you are one of the seniors on this team. There are also 8 freshmen on this team. How has it been mentoring them and getting them used to the college game?
Well, every freshman class that comes in is different. You have different personalities, people who react differently to how the coach wants to coach them. This year it's been probably one of the easiest, I would say. They've kind of figured it out on their own, better than a lot of the other classes have, but they've done a really great job of just knowing what to do, figuring out the little things. So it really hasn't been that hard.
Got you. And has there been an adjustment for you in terms of leadership, going from a junior to a senior and being one of 4 seniors on this team?
Leadership role, I haven't always been like one of the top leaders on the team. I'm kind of a silent leader, I would say, just because I feel like since I'm in the outfield, nobody really hears us out there because we're kind of in our own world. But just like people come and talk to me all the time about like, hey, what should I do here? In this situation, what should I do? And just stuff like that. And people like Mia Jenkins, she comes to me for literally everything. Like I'm pretty much her mom on the team is how she explains it. So
That's awesome. You played basketball in high school and ran track. Why did you choose softball over those 2 other sports?
basketball, I'm not very good at it. I did it so I could stay in shape for softball. And
Understandable.
I did the same thing for track, but I just wanted to be athletic and just be involved in sports, so I wasn't sitting out of anything.
How did running track prepare you to play in the outfield? Because there's a lot of short sprints that you have to do trying to track down a ball. How did that prepare you to play in the outfield?
It did prepare me. I did notice my speed got a lot faster, but I only did it 1 year, my freshman year, and that was because I lost a bet to one of my best friends, and she said that I had to run track with her my freshman year. So I hate running. I do not like it. I will do it without complaining, but yeah.
Short sprints.
Yes, short sprints, do not like long distance at all. So.
Understandable. I completely agree with you.
Yes.
You are a communication major here at Troy. Why did you choose that major?
I just like the atmosphere and everybody who's involved in it. I love Wes Johnson. He used to work here, and he's really the one who got me into it. I do the social second. I love the advertising part of it, the marketing. So he was pretty much one of the main reasons that I got into the communications department, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But he made it a really easy transition to just choose what I want to do, and he's also a great reference for anything that I want to do in the future.
And you won back-to-back state championships in high school. How do you think that can translate, that experience of winning championships, translate to trying to go after a conference championship this season?
It definitely is going to play a big part because my assistant softball coach in high school, she came up with this like letters, and it said the letters were BAGT, and which meant be a great teammate. And that kind of stuck with me because to be a great teammate, you have to be selfless. And we've started to talk a lot about that within our team, and Coach Mullins has pretty much put the hammer on the nail with us about that, being a good teammate, even when you're not in the game. Like it's not about you, it's about the team. And so that's going to play a big part in this year.
And y'all had a really good team last year, set a school record for wins inside of the conference. Amazing season last year, but ultimately y'all did come up short in the conference championship. How has that motivated y'all in the offseason to get better and improve?
We are hungry, I can tell you that. It's going to be a good year this year. I'm really excited for it. We have a great pitching staff and defense, and our offense is just unbelievable right now. It's probably the best offense I've seen my whole 4 years. So we're really excited for it. We can't wait to get out there.
And like I mentioned earlier in the show, you are one of the 4 seniors on this team. That first year, the freshman year, kind of a down year for the softball team, but y'all have learned and grown from that a lot. How has that experience kept y'all grounded and focused going into this season?
My freshman year was probably one of the worst years ever for me for softball because we didn't make the conference tournament like you said, and it was at our place, so we had to work it, and that was not very fun at all. So the seniors that I am with right now, we are just like, it's just kind of, you want to get back at it because we missed our opportunity our freshman year and we grew on that our sophomore year, and we were like, wow, we can actually do this. Like, that year was just a mishap. It wasn't even like real, pretty much. We've all, if you ask any of them, we've all put it behind us. We don't even think about it. We kind of joke about it now, like, what were we doing?
Yeah.
But it's definitely, this year is going to be really special for our senior class, just because we've all grown together over the four years, besides Hannah Williamson, who was a transfer in, but it's going to be really good for us.
And freshman year, you had 11 RBIs. Sophomore year, you went up to 18, and last year you had 15. Is there a goal that you have for yourself in a certain amount of RBIs you want to get, or a certain batting average that you want to get?
Well, I mean, you can't really have a batting average goal just because it's really unpredictable. You could hit a ball that's on the barrel of the bat right to somebody, and that, like, your average doesn't change, I don't think. But, I mean, it really, I just want to do good and just, I don't know that question. Can we edit that one out?
No.
Oh, okay, great.
You had a 11-game streak of getting on base last season. How some of those are walks, some of those are hits. How has your patience evolved since freshman year to last year, now this year at the plate?
Well, every time you get up to the plate, it's your adrenaline's running, like it's rushing through you because there's so many people in the stands. And so it has, since I've matured more in the past couple of years, it has gotten a lot better. But every time you get up to the plate, it's like, okay, just take a deep breath and then go for it, because you can't, if you think about it too much, it's just not going to happen, like, work out.
You are one of the more clutch hitters, I would say, at the plate. You had a 2-out, 2-run home run last year against North Dakota State to send it to extra innings. How do you keep yourself calm at the plate? I know you said you take a deep breath, but in that specific moment, clutch hitting, how do you keep yourself calm other than all the other moments?
Breathing. I know it's kind of a simple answer, but we had a mental coach come in named Jonah this I think it was last week, and he just really talked about, with everything you do, like, just take a second and then breathe, and it really relaxes you. Like, I never even thought of, like, breathing, like, yeah, in our routines we breathe and everything, but, like, really focusing on that breath, it just takes everything away from what happened the last pitch. Like, if it got called a strike and it wasn't a strike, it just releases everything, and so you're focused on the next pitch.
And you are one of the better outfielders, I would say, in program history, in my opinion. You had no errors at all last season. First of all, are you proud of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. I don't want to say it's hard, but it is kind of hard to get an error in the outfield because we really only catch 5 balls. I mean, I know that's kind of just saying that, but we have a great pitching staff, and we really don't get a lot of balls out there, to be honest with you. If we do, then they're just little bloopers, like right behind the bases, or like ground balls, because our pitching staff is really dominant. So
I was actually fixing to bring that up. Leanna Johnson's one of the more dominant pitchers in the Sun Belt. What's it like going into the outfield and knowing that you have her on the mound, and she's more than likely going to probably strike out 2 of the 3 batters?
Yeah, every time I go out there, I'm just like, okay, well, I do pay attention, obviously, but I know that I'm not going to get a lot of balls, but I'm always there for her, and I have her back on anything, even like a mishap, which doesn't happen often for her. We're there to back her up on it. So.
And going back to the errors real quick, you only have 3 errors total in your career here at Troy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In all the games that you started freshman year, sophomore year, and the 15 games you started last year, only 3 errors total. How do you remain so consistent in the outfield?
I really didn't know I've only had 3 errors. It's just, I don't know, you just got, like, it's just natural to me. Like, defense is probably my best out of anything for softball, but it's just it's just natural. I don't really think about, oh, I have to do this to field a ground ball, or I have to do this to catch a fly ball, and I have to do this to make a perfect throw to home plate or the cutoff or anything. It just comes natural, and so you just don't think about it.
Understandable. Y'all have a big season ahead of y'all. What are some of the goals in the season that y'all have for yourselves?
We definitely want to win conference. I really think that we have a really good chance of that. We also want to make a regional. That is probably our biggest thing that we want to do this year, is just to make a regional and just to see how far we can get and be the first in program history to do that.
Well, that's all the questions that I have for you. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more Trojan Sports Now coming up right after this.